Ah yes, Spy X Family, or just Spy Family, instantly blown off the internet back in 2022, leaving us with some questions not yet answered. Like Anya's true origin, we only know that before Loid adopted Anya from an orphanage, she actually escaped from an unknown organization that was conducting experiments on her. Later, she was adopted by 4 different families and finally settled down with Loid. But what about all the things that happened before the experiment? Where does she come from? Is she really 6 years old? Even Frankie gets no information about this. The only hint in the manga so far is that Loid discovered Anya's knowledge of classical languages, although she barely studied it in school, and that if she had made fewer spelling mistakes, she could have done well on her test. Something tells me that this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to her background. In addition to her background, another favorite topic of discussion is Anya's hair accessories. Some of you may know that Anya's character design is actually based on a character created by Endo Sensei from Rengoku no Ash. Since they both have supernatural abilities, the accessories make them more witch-like. But what we would like to know is, are those hairpins part of Anya's telepathic ability? Just like in Psychic Care, where Psyche used hairpins as a power limiter, because Anya is always seen wearing the hairpins, even when she's sleeping. But when she went shopping with Becky, fans were surprised to find her horns replaced with other accessories. Maybe this means that she will always have something on her head, even if the horns are not necessary. These horns could just be a character design meant to make Anya look cute. Or is there something else that has not been revealed yet? Only Anya knows. One of the main storylines in Spy Family is that Anya has to get 8 stars to become an Imperial Scholar, so that Loid can get in touch with Donovan and find out his true intentions regarding the relationship between Ostania and Vestalis. But also keep in mind that if she gets 8 Tornatrix votes, she will be expelled from Eden Academy. Over the course of the story, Anya has earned 1 star and 2 votes in the manga. She is the first student in her grade to get a vote and also the first student to get a star. The real question is, will she be the first student to get 8 stars and 8 votes at the same time? In chapter 64, Mr. Henderson told Anya that one of the Imperial Scholars had received 6 votes in his academic years, which probably is the highest record for an Imperial Scholar in the past 500 years of Eden Academy. Will Anya be the legend? We shall see. Loid, or Twilight's real name, another big mystery in Spy Family. So far, Endo Sensei gave us some backstory about Twilight's childhood and why he decided to become a spy. He even told us the color of his underwear, but nothing about his real name. Even Sensei made an effort to hide his name in the manga. Maybe he is looking for a right moment to reveal his name, but someone noticed that Twilight has a naming pattern for his cover names, which start with L or R, and that might be a clue to his real name. Who knows? I am more interested in, is there anything Loid cannot do? He mastered a handful of skills for his mission as the world's greatest spy, such as combat and weapon training. He also learned life skills to better disguise himself and adapt to any situation, such as cooking, sewing, and sports. To us, he seems to be a perfect spy who is able to achieve everything he wants in a short period of time. But is there something that he has not yet mastered? There is a Reddit thread discussing Loid's abilities. Fans are concerned about his parenting skills and his ability to understand the women in his life. But one particular response stood out: his work-life balance. This is a real point, because in one of the interviews with Endo Sensei, he said Loid has to work 22 hours a day, every day in a month, and he only gets 2 hours of sleep a day. Now we know how hard both his doctor and spy jobs are, which is another reason why he adds milk into his coffee. Up to the current storyline, fans only know a little about Loid's backstory. There is little to no information about Yoru's backstory. All we know is that Yoru and Yuri's parents have been gone since they were young, leaving Yoru to care for them by working as an assassin for Garden. What exactly happened to her parents? And how did Garden recruit her in the past? These questions are still left unanswered, not until the author has decided to give us some information about them. Speaking of Loid and Yoru, the fans of Spy Family are eager to know one thing. Between the world's greatest spy and a highly skilled assassin, who will win in a one-on-one battle? One has intensive combat training. The other has superhuman strength and outstanding weapon skill. Episode 5 gives us some clue as to who might stand a better chance of winning when going one-on-one. It is also confirmed by Endo Sensei that Yoru would win in a straight fight. But if Loid is given his weapons and traps, the chances are even. In episode 7, Anya mumbles in her sleep, which frightens some of the fans who are worried that there might be a possible conflict between Yoru and Loid in the future. Although a conflicting mission helps the story to reach its climax and also adds as an interesting twist to the story, but it is less likely to happen. First of all, the only thing we know about Garden is that it is an organization that wipes out the traders of the country, and there is still no clear indication of Garden's political stance. Second, the main goal of WISE is to keep the peace between Ostania and Vestalis, and they will do everything in their power to keep it that way. If Garden and WISE have the same motive to keep peace between both countries, it makes no sense for them to oppose each other. But this is just my opinion. The pen is still in Sensei's hand. The only person who is in favor of war is Donovan. Since his appearance in the anime, fans have noticed the scars on his head. This raises the question of whether these scars are just part of the character design, or whether there are some terrible stories behind them. Some believe that Donovan is able to read people's mind, and that the scars are left over from a mind-reading experiment.
I can read minds.
And some believe that because he is aware of the experiments going on, he has some kind of chip implanted in his head to prevent telepathic abilities. But we don't know yet, because the only time he shows up, Anya isn't around to see what he's thinking. Given the nature of Spy Family, a lot of fans have been asking the same question. Will the story end on a happy note or with a dark twist? Spy Family fans will worry about this because if you look at Endo Sensei's previous work, you might notice that some of them do not end happily. In one of the interviews, the manga editor has revealed that Spy Family is a comedy manga and it allows readers to read with a peace of mind. Therefore, the chance of the story ending happily is possible and seems to be high enough. Only time will tell. Did you know that Demon Slayer has a huge impact on Japan's economy? Click on this video to find out more.